Marty Nemko. If I were to start a restaurant, I remember liking even the food in my school's cafeteria. And even today, I think fast food tastes just fine. So I'm not exactly qualified to come up with a great plan for a restaurant, but what the heck. I would rent a divey place near, but not in a decent neighborhood. That way I wouldn't spend much on rent, but if my restaurant were particularly good and fairly priced, I should attract enough customers. I'd also be able to keep prices low by not having waiters. Truth is, few customers think waiters are worth the 15%, let alone the increasingly suggested 18 or even 20%. Who's doing the suggesting? Probably the owner, who figures that if we fork over more, they can pay waiters less. Instead of waiters, each table would have an iPad on which you can read full descriptions of each item with pics, order, and pay. And you won't have your conversation interrupted by, "Hi, I'm Sean. I'll be your waiter tonight. Can I start you with some appetizers, or should I just read you the specials?" And for doing that and sticking your plate on the table, the customer has to pay? I would pay to not have to deal with waiters. I'd have the iPad let customers say something or ask a question that would go to the restaurant's other customers. For example, is the fettuccine Alfredo worth the calories? And even, what do you think of Trump? What I'm calling Ask Your Fellow Guests would be an antidote to boredom. I have seen too many people just sit there having run out of conversation even before said appetizer arrives. I would decorate by encouraging customers to cover the walls with words using the Sharpies I'd put out. I would use butcher paper, so if, for example, somebody scrawled a big red "fuck you," we could just tear it off and try again. At the top of the menu, I would write, "For most people, dietary cholesterol isn't as big a deal as they used to think." And I'd have a link, but I'm no MD. The menu would prioritize yum stuff, and people could order a la carte or any 3 items of some moderate price, like $30. I would list desserts first. Life is short. To make life doable for the chefs, I'd probably just offer 3 fan favorites: apple pie a la mode, chocolate lava cake, plus the Prudence choice, fresh fruit. Other items on the menu? To die for: mac and cheese, cheeseburgers, spinach souffle, and buttery mashed potatoes, plus the Prudence choice, garlic broccoli. I would take the time to write tantalizing descriptions. For the cheeseburger, I might write, "Imagine a burger slightly crisp on the outside but moist and flavorful on the inside, served on the best bun you've ever tasted. Even without add-ons, you'd have a culinary orgasm. But you might have a second one if you add our secret recipe melty cheese or sautéed mushrooms. Add both, and God knows what could happen." Buzzy is so 90s, so my restaurant would be peaceful. Soft, pleasant music, carpet, and sound-insulating ceiling. Because I really would prioritize the customer, I would call the restaurant Your Place. I also think that's not a bad double entendre. But starting and running a restaurant is an expensive pain. So I'm just going to continue to be grateful for my favorite holes in the wall. In any event, that's if I were to start a restaurant. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 35 books. Perhaps most relevant to this would be Thought Experiments, but all 35 are on Amazon. In any event, I thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.